Okay, with little baby Sussex's birth just weeks away, I'm just going to do a summary on the latest rumours, gossip, tabloid gossip, whatever you'd like to call it. It's just going crazy over there in England, and I'll get you up to date with all the latest right here. Okay, let's play this clip.
Oh, gee, it's been a big week for the royal family, hasn't it, Dickie? And
sure has.
Meghan's due date looming, of course, and the news that Prince William is, of course, heading to Christchurch as well.
There is a lot going on
back
there. Yeah. So joining us with all the very latest on all things royal is royal commentator Dickie Arbiter in London. Thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate your time. The latest news out of the palace is, of course, that Prince William will be visiting New Zealand. The Duke of Cambridge has strong ties with the city of Christchurch. What more can you tell us?
Well, he has got strong ties. You've got to remember that he first went out there in 2011 after the devastating earthquake. And then he and Catherine were there in 2014.
Right.
And now, because of what happened at the two mosques in Christchurch, he is going out at the request of the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. And I think it's absolutely right that William goes, because he has got ties. He has fond memories of visiting Christchurch, albeit sad memories as well. So it is right. We don't know what the programme is yet. That's to be decided by the Prime Minister's office in conjunction with Kensington Palace, and we'll probably know more about that as we get deeper into April.
Yeah, so... Yeah, Christchurch, they're having a bit of a bad run, aren't they? They had the earthquakes just a few years ago, and then they've had the mosque shootings just like a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, so that's quite good news that Prince William's going over there to lend his support for the Commonwealth country of New Zealand, and Christchurch in particular.
And no doubt the people of Christchurch will welcome him with open arms. I think that'll be a really powerful visit when he touches down in Christchurch. But also making news today, Dickie, I'm dying to get your thoughts on this. Meghan's due date is nearly here, and there are reports, this is extraordinary, that the Duchess wants a natural birth with chanting and yoga. Okay.
Yeah, this is a tabloid party. I don't believe any of that. That's just rubbish, isn't it? I'd love to be proved wrong, though. I think it'd be great to see some photos of Meghan at a natural birth, chanting and yogaing, and I just can't see it happening. I don't know where this stuff comes from, but it's definitely not from me. I couldn't make this stuff up if I tried.
How do you think that's going to go down inside those palace walls?
Well, it's interesting that story came out of an online newspaper. But try and scour the British newspapers, the actual print media, you won't find any story like that at all. It seems like a bit pie in the sky. I think what Meghan will do is what the doctors tell her to do. They're the experts. There's been suggestions that she might have it at home, but we don't know where home's going to be, because there's sort of delays on Frogmore Cottage. Because it is being renovated. It's a bigger job than everybody thought it would be, because prior to its renovation, it was 5 separate apartments. It's now being knocked into one. It hasn't had any work on it for decades. So it is taking a bit longer than expected. So we don't know whether Meghan and Harry are still going to be living at Nottingham Cottage by the time the baby comes, or whether they will have moved to Windsor. And for that, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's a bit of interesting information, isn't it? So they might actually not make it to Windsor before the baby's due, because there's a lot of speculation about whether they're going to have the baby at the Lindo wing, or whether it's going to be closer to Windsor Castle there. So it might have something to do with the renovations and whether they're going to be able to move into Windsor Castle, Frogmore Cottage. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to. So I'm going to place my bets and say that the baby's going to be born at the Lindo wing, which would be quite good, because there's quite a tradition of babies being born there.
think Dickie basically there was saying fake news about the chanting.
I think so. I think that's all
fake news.
Nonsense. Hey, of course, betting on the new baby's name has already begun. What are the top contenders, apart from Dickie, of course, which would be a great name?
Yeah.
Well, apart from Dickie, well, you know, it's interesting, babies' names. I just wonder whether the bookies know something that we don't know, because they've got top of the list. They've got two girls' names, Alice and Diana, at 12 to 1. Then coming in sort of closely behind is Arthur, Charles and James at 14 to 1. And then we get down to Victoria at 14 to 1. Now, I quite like the idea of Victoria because this year is the 100th anniversary of Queen Victoria's birth. So that would be quite a nice gesture. They've also mentioned Diana. Well, you see, Charlotte is called has got Diana in her string of names. And I just wonder whether Francis might make it, because Francis was Diana's second name. Ooh. So that's something to think about.
Personally, I don't think they're going to call it Baby Diana. It's just, it's almost like a taboo. It's you know, Diana stands on her own, I think, and I don't think you can call another royal baby Diana after Lady Diana. She just sort of stood on her own, and no, I don't think they'll touch that. Maybe as a middle name, but not as a Christian name.
Boys' names, well, you know, we've got James, we've got Charles, we've got Arthur, we've got Philip. It seems as though the bookies are sort of hedging their bets on it being a girl, the baby being a girl, because it's the girls' names that are right at the top of the list. We just have to wait and see, won't we?
Oh,
I guess we sure do. See, it feels like it's going to be a girl.
It does. I think so. And I reckon probably Meghan, I think
Diana.
She might do some sort of tribute to Doria as well. But like Dickie said, we'll have to wait and see. Also making news this week, another Lifetime movie is being based on Harry and Meghan. How has this gone down with the royal family?
Well, you know, they're so used to these sort of things. There's so many documentaries in which they are portrayed. They're talking heads that talk about them, and they're quite used to it. So another sort of film, TV featurette on the royal romance is just something that goes with the territory. They don't take much notice of it. People will watch it, look upon it as entertainment, but it'll pass into the sands of time and disappear into the sands of time and move on until somebody decides to make another one.
They must be getting used to it with the crown and all that stuff too. Dickie, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have sent a gift to a special Aussie fan. What do we know about this?
Yes, Daphne Dunne. She seems to have cropped up 3 times, and the first time in, when was it, 2015, when Harry was in Australia, finishing his tour of duty in the army in the UK. He spent a few weeks with the Australian forces before finally relinquishing his beret and his army fatigues. And on a walkabout, he bumped into a lady called Daphne Dunne. And then in 2017, I think it was, he was in Australia again, and he bumped into her for a second time. And there she was last year in the front row by the Sydney Opera House, and there bumped into her again. So 3 times, and 3 times it makes a friendship, doesn't it? And if you've got a friendship, then you've got to recognise a birthday. So they're recognising her birthday, which I think is a very nice gesture from both Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, he wins a lot of respect over here with what he's done.
And we celebrated her birthday on the Today Show earlier this morning as well.
We celebrate every day of her life. We do. Our Daff. Dickie, we love you too. Thank you for your time, sir. We really appreciate all the inside, the lowdown on what's going on.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay, so that was really nice. Daphne Dunne, she definitely got a lot of coverage here in Australia during the royal visit. There was quite a bit of coverage on her, and we found out about her husband, who was quite a decorator. I think he won a VC actually, Victoria Cross, and yeah, so it was very nice because you know, Harry's definitely a military man. He's probably more of a military man than Prince William, that's for sure, and sort of served on the front line, and whereas Prince William was more of a helicopter pilot. So yeah, very interesting. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and I think I've got a couple more clips tonight I'll put up just to catch up on all the latest royal news. So I'll see you soon.